Elon Musk because I'd never heard Elon Musk speak, and I don't know if you've seen that one, but dude, Elon comes off like a fucking android or something. It's kind of weird. And then there was the
Yeah.
controversy because he took a hit of weed or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's like, who gives a fuck? He's smoking weed. He also made a fucking Tesla, and he's like, oh, by the way, I have this way to for us to get around town now. It's like this subway system, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be
like
fucking badass.
yeah, he's got shit in space. He's got like the best cars on the planet. He's doing all this shit, but you want to give him shit because he took one hit of weed that he didn't even inhale. He's fucking Bill Clinton over here,
Yeah.
and you want to give him shit.
Yeah.
Kiss my ass. But like, I check out Joe every once in a while, especially when he has a guest that I really dig. But the main ones that I listen to, like on a pretty regular basis, are Something to Wrestle With, Bruce and Conrad about wrestling. And it doesn't air very often, but Hardcore History. Man, I love me some Hardcore History. And I'm not even a history fan, but something about Dan Carlin and the way he tells stories about history, man, like I could just listen to that shit all day.
Shit, man. Like,
Yeah.
like other than the Kevin Smith ones that I listen to, like Hollywood Babylon and every now and then Fat Man Beyond. Like, yeah, I guess like the really like good ones that I listen to. There's a podcast called American Scandal, which is really really fucking good. They basically make it like it's almost like a TV drama, like a radio play in a sense. But they go over like some of like the biggest like scandals in American history. Like the first one that they did was on the Balco steroids and baseball scandal. Another one they did was the Iran Contra situation.
Okay.
And then the one that they're doing right now is they're going over the Exxon Valdez scandal.
Oh yeah, the spill.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like, Jesus Christ, like that is fucking good. Like it's fucking good enough. I got Hogan turned on to it.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, like how fucking like.
I used to listen to Smodcast, but I think at some point Scotty stopped doing it with him, and I kind of turned off because I really like their chemistry of Scott and Kev.
Scotty's actually back. The only reason he
good.
The only reason he left and made like sporadic appearances was because he had to move to Paris because he was co-director on that Grinch movie that just came out.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, so he just really didn't have like the schedule to do Smodcast anymore.
I'll have to go back and check it out because I really liked it when he was on there, but as soon as he went off, I was like, this isn't for me anymore.
Yeah.
I also used to listen to Mike Rose. He has one, I think it's called The Way I Heard It or something like that. They're really, really short. They're like 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the absolute most. Mm-hmm. And the format is usually like he'll tell you a story, and then at the end of it, he gives the reveal of like, and that person was James Earl Jones or whatever the fuck. And it's just like, wow, that's cool. It's just an interesting format and an interesting way to tell stories about people.
Yeah.
But I kind of tuned off from that one too for some reason.
There's another podcast I dig. It's called Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of You? Sorry.
Yeah. Those that don't know who Michael Rosenbaum is, he played Lex Luthor on Smallville for like 7 years.
Cool.
Pretty much I consider him to be the best like live action Lex Luthor ever.
Wow.
Like, fuck you, Gene Hackman.
Yeah, Hackman was a horrible Luthor.
Fuck him. Fuck Kevin Spacey. Fucking.
Now, do you say fuck Kevin Spacey because of the controversy or because you really didn't like him as his performance?
I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both?
Yeah.
See, I don't know how I feel about that whole thing because, I mean, I don't know many details of the thing because, I mean, it's really hard to support anybody who's accused of that kind of shit, but at the same time, like, you can't deny talent.
You can't deny talent, but still, it's kind of hard to defend somebody when it's just like, when they get accused of like, hey, you sexually molested a 13-year-old, I think that's what it was, right?
No, actually, I think, see, I'm kind of speaking out of school here, but the details that I read sounded more like it was a little more voluntary. Like the dude's parents were apparently present, and one of the things they said that he was groping him for like 3 solid minutes, and I feel like if that were happening and you really didn't want it to happen, like would you really not say something? I don't know, man. Like I don't want to be one of those people to defend the accused, so to speak, but yeah, at the same time, like I feel like it's so popular now for people to get accused that sometimes you have to question like the motives behind it, because especially when it's someone famous like that.
But it's not exactly the best defense when you're accused of groping a 13-year-old.
If he was that young, there's no excuse for that. I agree, but I'm pretty sure the dude was like at least 18. He was in a bar. I think he was celebrating his 21st birthday. Now that I remember.
Right, but I know there was somebody else that came out. God, I want to say it was about a year ago.
That accused Spacey, and they were 13.
Yeah, he said he was in like a theater play or something like that, and um, it was something like that. He was, kid was like underage. He was like somewhere between like 13 and 16, if I remember right. Basically, he came out and said like, look, he forced himself on me. He was groping me. He was grabbing me. Blah 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 blah. And basically, Spacey's defense in the when he came out to defend himself against the accusations, he was just like, I'm gay.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say that was a horrible move on his part.
Yeah, it's like that's great, kudos to you, but still like
bad timing, dude.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, if that's legit and he's being accused of molesting a 13-year-old, then that's a whole nother ball game because that's just fucked up. But I totally agree that regardless of what it was, if he's being accused for molesting somebody, some guy. That is the worst, absolute worst time to come out and be like, oh, I'm gay. Like, because first of all, it does kind of sound like it's okay, I'm gay. But second of all, like, even if you are, like, why would you pick then to say it? Like, obviously, otherwise you wouldn't be groping a dude. But like, motherfucker, like, this is not the time.
Yeah. So here's what it is. So this is on Wikipedia, which, yeah, okay, it's fine. It said in October 2017, Spacey came out as gay when he apologized to Anthony Rapp for a drunken sexual advance that he had allegedly made to the then 14-year-old Rapp in 1986. Spacey said, I have had relationships with both men and women. I have loved and I have had romantic encounters with men throughout my life, and I choose now to live as a gay man.
Like, yeah, that's poor taste.
Yeah, like that again. That's great. You're coming out and whatnot. More power to you. But still, like, it doesn't.
But where's your quote unquote defense of that? Because it's almost like, yeah, it happened. Like, okay, but no, like,
yeah, like that's
you don't just grow up a 13 or 14-year-old.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck's wrong with you?
Exactly. It's not a fucking an instant defense for anything. It's not it's not like a some guy can like go before a judge and just like how do you plead? I plead innocent because I'm gay, Your Honor. It's like for stabbing 13 people.
Seriously.
Like what the fuck? And like I know somebody's probably gonna give me some shit about comparing groping a 14-year-old to to murdering people, but it's I know I'm reaching a little bit there, but my point remains that like
it doesn't hold up.
It doesn't hold up. It doesn't hold water.
No, not at all.
It's a holy bucket.
Yes. Holy bartender.
Holy bartender, that's a great one.
Yeah, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it really is.
And you know what kills me is like I'm not like a huge fan of Spacey, but it always sucks when it's someone that you're a fan of who gets accused, because like I wasn't like a super fan of Cosby either, but when it came out and then he got arrested and shit, it's like, man, like you kind of want to just disown him in a way, but at the same time, like you have so many memories. Like I saw him live and he made me laugh, and to this day there are jokes of his that like I'll occasionally quote or whatever, and at the same time I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't say that because fucking it's Cosby and he drugged all those fucking chicks and shit. But
yeah,
that's what I mean. Like you can't deny when people did something good. The problem is that these people also did some really shitty stuff.
Well, yeah, and it also goes to the Lance Armstrong argument of the guy won I don't know how many fucking Tour de France's and whatnot.
7 in a row, baby.
7 in a row. Okay. So he won 7 in a row, but he was taking steroids. He was taking performance enhancers, and he lied about it. When he got caught, they took away his titles. Now, see,
there I would actually defend Lance, and only because what he says about like if you're in the Tour de France, you have to be on those, like you have to be on something. That's true. The Tour de France is ridiculously taxing on people. It's like what, 2 or 3 weeks straight, 4 weeks straight of riding like 100 miles a day. Like I'm an amateur cyclist and I don't really bike much these days, but when I would ride like 20 minutes to work and back, that would tire the shit out of me. I can only imagine what it's like to ride 100 miles a day on the mountains and shit. Like I kind of agree, and one of the fucked up things is that if you look at, like, for example, one of the titles that they took away from him, so what they did in some of the cases would they'd give it to like the guy who came in second or underneath him or whatever.
Something like that, yeah.
But the thing is, like, that dude was also previously accused of taking drugs and shit. So like, why is it okay for him but not for Lance? Like, unfortunately, it is very true that doping is incredibly prevalent in that sport. But unfortunately, it's partly because it needs to be. Like there have been people who damn near die. I think actually people, at least one dude died from exhaustion during the Tour de France in like one of the earlier tournaments of it because it's that taxing. And these are like professional athletes doing this shit. So I mean, if they're keeling over and dying, like it kind of says like maybe it shouldn't be this intense, or I don't know.
Yeah, so that tells me, two things. That tells me that the Tour de France really isn't doing, their job, screening their athletes and whatnot, or they've found some new ways to get by them, and B, it's shorten the fucking race.
Yeah.
Shorten.
It's kind of a bullshit thing anyway. I mean, honestly.
But the good thing that came out of it was you used to see everybody wearing that fucking yellow bracelet, the Live Strong and raising money for cancer. And like, yeah, all right, you know what? That's a good thing that came out of it, but still.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks about that is now that he's been dethroned or whatever, or he's lost a lot of his prestige in the public eye, whatever, however you want to say it. The word's not coming to me, but now that he's kind of been knocked down a peg or two, the unfortunate thing about that is while he's no longer connected with the Livestrong Foundation, the Livestrong Foundation still exists and they're still supporting cancer charity. It's still a cancer charity, so they're still doing good things. But the problem is a lot of people are going to be like, Livestrong, fuck that. It's like, well, yeah, but like he's not involved with it, so people are probably not going to donate or get involved with it, even though they probably should because it's probably an awesome charity. But because of that connection to Lance, people are going to be like, no, fuck that. That doping asshole was involved with that shit. You know what I mean? Like. That's right. One of the unfortunate things is now that charity is going to lose money and or support because of this guy's reputation.
Right, and it's also that people they don't like feeling like they got duped.
That's another thing is when you said that he lied about it. Like he definitely. I mean, I'm a big fan of honesty. Period. I always think that honesty is the best policy. I don't care what it is because ultimately. You clear your chest or whatever, but at the very least, you're telling the truth. It's kind of you don't have to hide behind anything. If he just come out and been like, yeah, I dope, even if he had to throw other people under the rug and be like, it wouldn't be the most noble thing in the world, certainly. But even if he was like, yeah, I dope, but so does that motherfucker and that motherfucker and the motherfucker you're gonna give my title to. Like, at least he's gonna be honest about what he's doing and be like, yeah, I did it. Like, but to lie about it is really shitty too.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's like, okay, he had the chance, like he had the fucking chance to, sort of right the ship, so to speak, and just say like, look, yeah, this is what's going on in the sport, and he didn't fucking take it.
No, swing and a miss.
No, swing, fucking foul ball right into the catcher's mitt. You're out, done.
I was gonna say, yeah, not even a swing, really, because it's like he didn't even try.
Nope. This was the day mighty Casey struck out.
Fucking Predator striking out.
Fucking Predator. Fuck, how do we get on that? Anyways.
Dude, I don't know. That's just what we do. We go on tangents, man. Our podcast is one long tangent that usually starts with shit and moves from there.
Yeah. But anyways, so what was I saying? Yeah, Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. It's a damn good podcast.
Check it out if you haven't.
Yeah. But again, if you don't know who he is, best fucking. Oh, that's right. That's how we got on this motherfucker. I'm just like steering us back right into there. It's like we're gonna.
You're backing it up.
Like shitting all over Kevin Spacey. But yeah, I consider him to be the best live action Lex Luthor ever. Like fuck Jesse Eisenberg, fuck Gene Hackman, fuck fucking Kevin Spacey. Like he fucking nailed it, and like you can go watch like the first like 7 seasons of Smallville and try and tell me differently, and you're gonna be wrong.
I've never actually seen Smallville.
That's not a problem, man. Like I'll like bring it over next time we hang out and whatnot. Check it out.
Dude, I'm already borrowing so much shit from you. Like, I still got to watch more Rick and Morty. I mean, I've had, like, no time because I'm spending so much time on the video thing and the other shit I got going on. Like,
yeah, but I make no apologies for turning you on to Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no, I honestly, of all the things that you've let me borrow, that's the one I feel most guilty about not watching, especially because we sat down and we watched that one episode, and I really dug it, and I would really love to watch more of it.
Oh, it's fucking great. I can't wait for the 4th season to start. I don't know when the hell that's going to happen, but...
Yeah. Well, they're oh yeah, I guess you said you didn't know what's gonna happen. But...
No, we don't know when it's gonna happen. As far as we know, like the vocal work is done and whatnot, but they're just putting the episodes together.
Huh, that's interesting. So they do vocals first and then they animate